Hi guys, and welcome to my tropical fish tank update. So today I'm going to show you a new little home. This is a tank I brought yesterday. I think it's a 12 litre, I'm not 100% sure. All I know it's just the right size. And in here are my two African clawed frogs. They show that they weren't very happy in the 3-foot fish tank. All they did was hide behind a filter. I do believe it's because it's such a massive tank, they're very small. There's two filters that are on either side, so there's a bit of a current. Done some research and I realised that it's not really a good environment for two small African clawed frogs. So I decided to go out and look around for a little simple tank for them, where there's no drama, there's no other species, there's no currents and filters, just pure relaxation. So let me show you around in here. So I got a plant and I got a pot here for them to hide in, like a cave. I was going to get an actual water feature, like ornament cave, but during I was shopping around, there was only large ones, and plus they was very expensive. As you can imagine, in a normal standard pet store, they're very expensive. So I went into a local shop and I got this for like £1.50. So that's all good. And I've got a crockery dish here that will cost £1. That's where I put the food in. And I've got another plant here, slightly bigger, because obviously African clawed frogs, albino frogs, they like cover. You like plenty of shelter. And the gravel here is from my original 2-foot fish tank, which is at the moment just sitting there doing nothing. So I gave these a rinse through and I put them into here. And that's it. So, don't need a filter, don't need really a thermometer, don't really need an air pump. Don't need an air pump because they come up for air anyways, and as you can see by the lid here, it's highly ventilated. See, so they've got their oxygen coming in. So, don't need an air pump. Don't need a filter because they're not a fan of currents. If you was to put a filter in a small tank for the frogs, obviously make sure it's very small, not about that big, kind of that there, and on a very low setting. But you don't really need a filter. And a thermometer, it's up to you if you want a thermometer, but as long as you keep the water room temperature, it's perfectly fine. That's a good thing about African clawed frogs, is that they're very vigilant. They can live in tropical water and so-called cold water. Not obviously cold water, but you know, just normal standard room temperature water. So yes, I'm going to clean this tank, I think, is it once every 10 days? I think I'm going to do. Yeah, so I'm going to have to obviously regularly clean it more often than I do in the 3-foot fish tank, obviously, because there's no filter. So these frogs were introduced into this tank last night. Within 15 minutes they was already swimming around and ranging around for food. They wanted feeding. They was quite hungry. I think because when they was in the 3-foot fish tank they didn't eat much because they was just too busy hiding. So that showed that they was very happy in this tank. So if they're happy, I'm happy. So I'll show you what I do with feeding. So at the moment I haven't got any frog pellets. They're like proper frog food. So at the moment I'm just feeding them this Fishy Feast Tropical Flakes. You don't need anything fancy for these. So what I did this morning was I took a pinch out of here, put my hand into there, let it go, floated into the dish, and they both went into the dish and ate from it, which is really good. So at the moment my frogs are relaxed. They're not swimming much, they're just really content. So do forgive me if you can't see any of my frogs. I think you just saw one of my frogs go up for air then. But yeah, they're just quiet at the moment. But it was a drama getting the frogs out last night. Because they was stuck, obviously they was hiding behind the filter. As I was trying to take the filter away from the glass, it came apart, so a lot of waste was released into the water, and it was just like, very frustrating. So I quickly got the frogs out. I had to clear everything out of this tank. I'll show you my tank. Do forgive the LED water thing that's just like floating there. It's because it came undone. Well, you know, got away from the glass last night. I haven't put it back yet. It's because I just washed my hands with soap, so it's not very advisable that I put my hands in. But as you can see, my fish are happy, the water's clean, but yesterday I had to take everything out, all the logs, all the fake plants, just to get the frogs out. And then I had to do a quick little clean, change the water, and then put everything back. So they're happy now, just need to stick that back onto the back. But there's still air coming out, so they're getting their oxygen. So yeah, they're happy. So I'm going to say, they're happy, I'm happy. You know, I keep saying that. So yeah, so these are in their own little home, which I am happy about, really, really pleased about. And also, if I move this around, if I can, very carefully, I've put this backing on. You see, I stuck it on. That's from the original backdrop that I used. Backdrop, you know what I mean. The usual background image. You know, the black one that I had a few weeks ago. Well, that's now stuck at the back of this. So yes, I'm happy. So it's really cool. It's a shame that they're not making themselves known much in this video. But what I'll do... Oh, saying that, one's popped out. There you go. I was going to wrap this video up, but I think I'll leave this video on a little bit longer so you get to see my little frog. I have noticed, because I have two, one slightly bigger than the other. This is the bigger one. This one's a lot more adventurous, it comes out more, where the smaller one is a lot more shy. So he's just having a little nose now. It's a shame I can't really zoom in for you to see the frog. That's how tiny they are. They really are small. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up then. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll do an update in a few weeks and keep you posted on what's happening. Thank you. Bye bye.